the guy should offer to pay more lah, but I think it's natural for a guy to want to pay for most of the things lah.
So if you are expected to pay all the time, then I don't think the relationship will be very sustainable. Like at one point in time, you confirm run out of money and you keep paying for everything. Then how to go for dates?
Guy expects the girl to go Dutch with him for everything. So for example, meals, activities, transport. Is that a red or green flag? Guy expects the girl to go Dutch. I'm trying to think from my own personal experience.
Yeah, we're all thinking.
Yeah. I think green. Okay, so we have 3 green and 1 red. So maybe the red flag person can explain his answer.
The question is, the guy expect
To go Dutch.
the girl to go Dutch, right?
Mm.
Personally think, so we are talking about they are already in relationship, right? Couple. The guy should offer to pay more lah, but I think it's natural for a guy to want to pay for most of the things lah.
Is that true for the both of you?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is it natural for you guys?
I think in a relationship, I think the girl also may not feel like I should rely on my boyfriend for things like, oh, you should be paying more or you should be doing this more, especially the paying more, I feel. Because actually in Singapore, I think the girls also grow up feeling that I want to be independent and I also want to have my own say. Because I think if there's a dependence on the guy to pay for extra stuff, then maybe that relationship is also like saying that the guy also maybe expects more from other things. I'm not sure, but I just feel that girls feel like I'm independent enough to pay my part of the meals or the holidays and so on. And I think it's a bit of a red flag if the girls assume that the guy should be paying more. Yeah, I mean, that's how I look at it.
But the question is whether the guy should expect the girl to go on Dutch, right?
Yeah.
So I think, the guy should also, I mean, both should agree that, hey, we pay our fair share, they co-share. Yeah.
My opinion is the guy should offer to pay first. But whether the girl want to, pay back or not, go on Dutch, I think that's a bonus lah. But I think the guy should just offer to pay.
So you won't judge the girl if every time you offer, she every time says, yes, okay.
I wouldn't judge lah, because but I think most girls will then, the guys will pay most of the time, but I think the girls, certain occasion will say, hey, this time my turn to pay lah. I think that's okay.
If the girl never say at all,
If the girl never say at all, so 100 times.
Totally never offer to pay at all. Never ask, never treat you also.
Okay, if totally 100%, right, then I think maybe a bit of red flag lah. A bit lah. One corner.
I think my answer very simple. So if you are expected to pay all the time, then I don't think the relationship will be very sustainable. Like at one point in time, you confirm run out of money and you keep paying for everything. Then how to go for dates after that?
Okay. Yeah, for me, I also think that it's a green flag because I feel that it prevents further problems from happening in the relationship if the guy sets the boundary early. Because I think the worst thing that can happen is you keep paying first, and then when she gets used to it, and suddenly you feel like, okay, this is not sustainable, I need to say something, and then you say it, right? But because she's already comfortable, then she's going to react. There's a higher possibility that she will react badly, because she will say like, but previously you have been paying, how come suddenly you say I have to split now, or like I have to treat you to things?
Okay.
So I think that problem might come up in future. So if he sets the boundary early on, right, I think it's a green flag lah, because then he's like managing your expectations right from the start.
So yours is green or red? You say
Green
green.
lah. Guy expects the girl to go
We're all
Dutch.
green except
Yeah,
you.
except you. You are the only red flag.
Oh. Wait lah.
You're regretting your answer now, is it?
Can still change your name.
Cannot change already. Sorry, moving on. Okay, so how about we share some personal experience with this issue? Do you guys usually go Dutch? Or if you do go Dutch, do you guys split 50-50? Or do you guys tend to pay more? That kind of situation. Maybe JP can share his answer.
Yeah. So I think there's a bit of a difference between dating and being married. Because dating, I think it's fair that both the boy and the girl kind of share in the cost for meals, holidays, and so on. Marriage also, but I think marriage, the difference that comes about is that there's something that we did, which is also we try to have a maybe joint account where some of the expenses like holidays then comes from that joint account. So both husband and wife put in money inside. At the same time, we still have our own personal savings account, of course. But the joint account is where we kind of like go for a nice meal, we take from there. Holidays take from there. Kids' school expenses also take from there. Things like that. I think it's a fairer way of just planning out our expenses and finances. Yeah.
Okay. Then how about like other expensive items? Like maybe your car. Do you pay for? What are the things that you fully pay for?
I guess. So we're not the kind. Me and my wife, we're not the kind that we track every single expense as a line in a Excel file, and then we say, hey, it has to be 50%. So some of the items I may pay. For example, you mentioned the example of the car, so I'll pay for that for the monthly loan and so on. And the reason is, I guess I'm the one driving it the most. It just happened to be an expense that's attributed to me, and maybe some other things that she happens to look into more, like some of the household items that she buys for the kids. Then she sometimes would be the one doing it, paying for it. Yeah.
Me. I think when we were dating back then, right? So many years ago. So I think initially we share in a lot of things like housing or everything, car expenses and things like that. But then for me, my wife stopped working for many years. So after that, I'm paying for most of the things. Yeah. So
Okay, that's understandable because one person's not working, right? Yeah. So for you, in future, you get married, you
Wow, okay, stress lah. I can only give a dating point of view.
okay,
'Cause-
you can go ahead and give that.
I think like what Wee Kiong said earlier, like I pay for the date first. Then if she decides to pay me back, then that's how we go about lor.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got money to pay for everything, man. Aren't you a
I try my
student?
best. I squeeze whatever I can out.
Okay.